A parenting channel called the Mommy Wayopedia has thousands of subscribers who are looking for heartwarming family videos. Paranormal content is not what they seek, and I don't think she's playing around when she uploaded a rather realistic ghost sighting video for fans to analyze. So here's the background story on this video. She's been seeing some weird things on CCTV camera for the past week or so, but never had the phone nearby to record and doesn't have a memory card for the camera, so she waited near the CCTV monitor for a couple of days for the paranormal entity to return, and this creepy sighting of a mysterious figure is what she has since caught on camera. The mother tries to keep the fear out of her voice as she tells her son to keep reading a book out loud.
You read the book, baby.
Okay.
She doesn't want to scare him. She can't take her eyes off what she sees. Seated on the ground facing the courtyard on the first floor is this exquisitely eerie ghost sighting. A woman with long hair and a gown. She's across from the main entrance waiting for them to come out. The see-through figure does not move, but look closely and at 10 seconds, you'll see this object across from the ghost is moving all by itself, or maybe it's the wind. The Mommy Wayopedia has no idea what this ghost wants from her or her family, and is seeking advice on what to do next. I would say this is a camera glitch, but she's been seeing it on different monitors across different places, so it appears to be an actual ghost. With that in mind, the only thing left to do is either confront it or hope it goes away, and I'm not sure if either is going to get her any peace. When you see a figure that you can only describe as an orc, then you know that reality has become a Tolkien novel. Published to the paranormal subreddit by Remola Day 2, the uploader purports to have caught real video evidence of just such a capture. The Redditor explains that he and his brother are arguing what this thing is that they caught on camera. Due to its size, he doesn't think it's human. He writes, his house is remotely located, and the figure is coming from a huge field and not from the road ahead. Also, all the lights on the road and behind the tractor are turned on by sensor, so the ones on the road ahead shouldn't be lit. In the video, the creature appears to waddle past, definitely in an inhuman way. The second video shows the creature's large shadow before it waddles past again. The uploader claims that they've discovered 2 black leaves where the creature was walking, and the woods near which it passed had also begun to turn black, like it's rotting. Some in the comments say that the creature appears to be dragging something, like a deer, suitcase, or large bag. Others say it looks like Sasquatch or Hagrid from Harry Potter. What do you think this is? Discovering a hidden room in your home always begs the question, what was it used for? Posted to TikTok by Abby Maya 14. This TikToker found an entire hidden basement in her storage cupboard. Well, it's not unusual for a home to have some sort of crawl space beneath it. This one is particularly creepy because it looks lived in. After tearing up the floor, the homeowner discovered wooden steps leading down to a full-on basement. Not only can you stand fully upright in this hidden subterranean room, it appears as though someone once called this space home. A poster is plastered to the wall and it looks as though it's been clawed to pieces. There are benches in one corner and what appears to be a hearth. So again, this begs the question, what was this room used for? Some in the comments of the video have speculated that this might be an air raid shelter. Others say perhaps someone was squatting down there. It's probably best to climb up out of there, cover it over with a rug, and throw away the key. Vintage footage recovered from Michigan shows creepy things in the woods, scary stuff that you and I were never meant to see. Things get weird when the family dog begins guarding them and tracking smells. Something out here has had the animal on high alert for the whole time. Whatever it is has apparently gotten close to camp the night before. On their final day, they decide to let the dog roam as far as it wants. It tracks a scent deep into the forest where they've caught a scary unknown creature sighting on camera that I'm not sure they survived. The animal looks like a bear, but runs like something completely different. We only get a glimpse of it before the cameraman runs, but in those scary moments, some say that this is a sighting of the Michigan Dog Man. A legendary humanoid creature lurking in the woods. Dogman or not, it has a pretty good head start on them. This does not look like a warning charge, therefore I would not be surprised if this creepy vintage video was found in the woods many years later. This bizarre video caught my attention on the Chills Narrator subreddit. West for President is taking a trip in Bergen, Norway, filming some birds at the harbor, when something really creepy caught him by surprise.
I am bird. What the No. Okay. What the Is that a face? Oh, what the
When he zooms in on this odd rat-like face, it is sticking out from the tunnel. I don't know if this tunnel is haunted or has an oversized creature problem or what, but it's enough to make West for President hold his scream in as he runs away. I would say that it's part of the structure, but there's no identical part on the other side of the wall. I don't know what it is, but if he thinks it's far from normal, then that's good enough for me. Security cameras often capture things we'd rather not see. This footage, posted by Redditor jhood3119, reveals a creepy looking creature ambling in the vicinity of this upstate New York security camera. A friend installed a security camera because his dog kept freaking out for no reason, jhood writes. And it seems the dog was freaking out for a reason. As you can see, a figure passes into view, moving strangely and seemingly wearing a headlamp and holding a flashlight. But then halfway across the snow-packed yard, the figure completely vanishes, although a flashlight beam still appears at the right side of the screen. What could this be? Well, some in the comments of this thread consider the possibility of the supernatural, saying the figure's strange walking and eye shine is creepy and inhuman. But others are not having it. Human or paranormal, what do you think? Based on the dog's reaction, there's definitely something there. An outdoor restaurant is about to be creepy, and it's all caught on CCTV tape. This top right couple seems to be having an intense conversation. At 10 seconds, there's some chest pounding on both sides. It looks like a bad breakup or something until 25 seconds when he stands up and is ready to storm out, but then points at the food lodged in his throat. They weren't having an argument at all. He was slowly becoming more and more unable to breathe. She starts patting him on the back, but apparently this is a big mistake. I am not giving any medical advice, but the Mayo Clinic says not to do this unless you're trained to deliver a special back blow between the shoulder blades. From what I've read, patting someone on the back can sometimes make the food move further down the windpipe and get even more stuck. A brave restaurant worker gets behind him, makes a fist with one hand slightly above the belly button, grabs his fist and gives a quick upward thrust as if picking him off the ground for a moment. This is called the Heimlich maneuver, and it's a good thing somebody in the restaurant knew it. Most states have laws in place for restaurant staff to have this kind of training, and this scary scenario caught on tape is exactly why. I encourage everyone to get the proper training because you never know when this could happen to someone nearby, maybe even you. There must be no scarier feeling than having an entire crowd watch you helplessly while you can't breathe. This man who helped him is truly a hero. This ghost hunt turns terrifying fast. Published by Indra Saputra Official in April of 2022, Indra is exploring an abandoned place when he turns down a hallway that's occupied.
Minyak satu, tungguin di situ. Ya, aku tunggu di sini, no. Tenang aja, no. Aku tunggu di sini, kok, no. Ya. Aku tunggu di sini. Bawa senter yang terang, please.
Dressed in white, a girl whose face we cannot see is kneeling in the darkness. Indra seems to hold back his fear so as not to startle the demon girl, but soon he turns around and takes off running. Would you stick around? That's a heck no from me. Redditor ZZZ747's neighbor's CCTV camera captured something strange, and they just want some answers. Watch the top right corner of the yard. A strange smoke figure drifts into view before curling up the side of the house and then vanishing completely. While it could be exactly what it looks like, smoke, it appears and disappears in a strange way. Watch again. Some in the comments think it's just someone vaping, others think it's a dryer vent. I think it could be either of these things, but I agree with the Redditor that it does seem to appear out of nowhere, and its behavior seems odd. What do you think it is? Fari hunters kneel over the remains of a wild lion, each too busy posing to notice another member of the pride has been following them this whole time.
That's it. Ah, go, pump him. That's it.
Are you gonna work on this?
Oh, come on. Right, let me...
As they fiddle with the camera equipment, the silent surviving lion sizes them up without a sound. It waits until they are too close to run and then pounces. Their tour guide lays on his horn to warn them, but it's far too late.
Okay, good stuff.
I'm not sure if this video is real because the lion doesn't make a sound even after it's been spotted. If this is a real video, then it's more like their final moments rather than a close call. YouTuber Don John Averon claims to have captured an unknown humanoid on tape while deep in the woods in 2016. But without more information or evidence, little can be verified in regards to this video's authenticity. But if it's real, then this chilling footage shows Dawn silently creeping up on an ape-like creature that has tiny legs and a hunched over upper body. The humanoid does not seem to notice him as it casually swings its massive arms while walking. It moves like a human, but apparently has giant sloth-like arms with no fingers. It retreats deeper into the forest and Dawn doesn't follow. Not everybody in India is a believer of the spirit world. Varun Kati seeks to dispel the legends behind the most haunted places in his home country. One such debunking video of him exploring some spooky abandoned buildings in the woods left him scared but still somewhat skeptical. He goes exploring the abandoned buildings one by one, whistling and taunting for any spirits to make themselves known. Less than 30 seconds later, he gets a reminder as to why provoking the paranormal is a recipe for scary things in the woods caught on camera. A loud moan rings across the treetops, a scary noise from the woods that even Varun has to admit is strange enough to give pause. He gets a really bad feeling that says it wasn't paranormal, just afraid of a wild animal or something, and he gets out of there quickly. I think this brave explorer might be unwilling to admit that he just caught strange and scary evidence of paranormal EVPs caught on tape. He says this could be a monkey, but let me know if you agree. Here's another listen. It sounds like a ghost haunting the woods to me. Either way, ghost or animal, both possibilities sound terrifying. A man pulls over and records a video with his camera after hearing a loud screaming that sounded like an animal in distress, or possibly even a person. That's when another horrifying scream comes from the woods.
I'm gonna go check it out.
Jumping around is a yelling humanoid creature that grows quiet and disappears in the tall reeds when it sees it's caught on camera. The man runs to his car and later suspects it could be a rake sighting caught on tape. The noises it makes are disturbing and do kind of sound like other rake sighting videos, so maybe he's right. Here's a still photo of the unknown creature, sighting taken at 23 seconds, just before it ducks down. Its arms look abnormally long and it's very broad-shouldered too. What do you think? Is this a person or a monster? I'm afraid he could have spotted the rake after all. Rain pouring an abandoned railway house in the middle of nowhere. The scene is set for terror. Published to YouTube in August of 2020, Exploring with Danny follows Danny and Luke wandering through the forest in the stormy darkness. They finally arrive at the abandoned railway house, which looks undoubtedly haunted with the lightning flashing ominously overhead. Once inside, they begin exploring. Everything is torn apart. Windows are boarded up, graffiti on the wall. Danny claims that back in the 1800s, more than 30 people passed away on the railway line outside the house. Those are shoes abandoned on the stairs. They head up to the second floor. In the bedrooms upstairs, there are still clothes hanging on the wardrobe. Danny asks any spirit to make itself known by giving a bang or closing a door. He might regret asking. They head down the hallway and find a strong lock on the door. A piece of the door has been broken clean off. They enter the room and it looks like someone has been living there. A wardrobe stands in the corner. As they look around the room, suddenly the wardrobe is pushed aggressively over, revealing a woman dressed in white, with a pale face and dark hair. Hidden in the corner, she starts to approach them. Needless to say, the explorers scream and flee the scene as though their lives depend on it, because they do.
Thanks, pal. Conveying that thunder. What's that noise? Probably rats.
A YouTuber named Batchain Puller says they were watching Game of Thrones when they noticed this little girl staring into their home with a blank expression. She does not seem to be trying to get anyone's attention and seems perfectly content with staring straight ahead into a stranger's home on Christmas, judging by the decorated tree. The YouTuber says that there is an explanation for this video, but doesn't go into any more detail. Maybe they will still remember what happened all these years later. A YouTuber named Darwin Quesada gets no further than a single step into an abandoned house when he hears footsteps from inside, high heels to be exact. He and his friends are determined to find the source of the commotion, so they climb the steps to the top floor. The footsteps resume and a swirling cluster of white orbs appears when these sounds, much worse than footsteps, catch them by surprise. They run down the steps at the sound of a door slamming somewhere unseen, but eventually convince each other to go back upstairs. They search every room and can't find where the footsteps are coming from, but then the footsteps grow louder, and 4 minutes is the exact moment the footsteps enter the room. They are in from behind and walk right past where they are standing. The group is besides themselves and giddy with fear at this point, because it sounds like they are now walking around inside of these cabinets, which is obviously impossible, and yet happening before their eyes. Darwin's initial relief that nothing is behind the door is swept away by horror when this happens. The third door swings open on its own, without a sound, and they all run away without getting a clear look inside. According to the title of this video, what they saw was a real phantom staring back at them. It's gruesome, the likes of which you or I cannot even begin to fathom. This ghost hunter crosses into haunted territory with only his faith and a camera. Caught on tape is a giant unknown creature that does some really scary things. 11 minutes and 28 seconds is when they notice the shine of its eyes.
ये यार ये देख लाइट लग रहा है यार कमरे के अंदर से हाँ ये देख ओफ अल्लाह देखा रिकॉर्ड किया लाइट लग रहा
Lying on the roof is something much larger than them.
ये अल्लाह ऊपर ये देख अस्तगफुरुल्लाह ये क्या है यार रहीम हाँ वो मां मुझे नजर आ रहा है देख मां मुझे नजर आ रहा है हो इधर ओ अल्लाह अकबर इधर रिंग इधर
A mysterious figure peeks from the window. Watchful eyes retreat down the roof as they approach.
हाँ दिख रहे अस्तगफिरुल्लाह दिख रहे अल्लाह ऊपर ये देख अस्तगफिरुल्लाह ये क्या है अल्लाह ये देख यार पैरानॉर्मल शोज में पहली दफा दुनिया में यार इस तरह की कोई चीज अस्तगफिरुल्लाह अल्लाहु अकबर.
Footsteps turn them around, but nothing's there, and when they turn back, the figure is in the window again, along with the creature above. What is this bizarre thing looking at them from the doorway? And is it paranormal? I think it could be. Donnie regularly sees what he thinks is a shadow person in his home. It's always in the basement, always coming from the corner of his eye, and always going way too fast to be a normal person. He can feel its anger downstairs, and he knows that it wants to do him harm. Donnie decides to put music on blast to see what kind of reaction he can get on camera. After 20 minutes, this shadow can take no more and races upstairs, causing these lights to move. Soon the same angry feeling returns, and Donnie knows that it's back. He starts recording down a dark hall, and these bottles move on their own.
You're not welcome here.
You and I both heard them fall, but no one else is around to knock them over. At least nobody that I could see. And just around the corner are the stairs leading down to the dark, cold basement. This video was posted on my subreddit by someone in Palo Alto, California. For well over a minute, these large lights jump all around the sky, changing direction seemingly at random without logic or reason. After a while, the mysterious lights slowly lower to the ground, almost as if landing somewhere unseen.
Yo, what is that?
Oh my gosh.
They're like moving around.
Look at that.
What is that?
This landing maneuver strongly suggests that this is some kind of controlled aircraft, though exactly what it's being controlled by is anyone's guess. The person who posted this video claims to be a pilot, and has absolutely no idea what this could be. I thought this could be an experiment with flares, but they say military flares are much smaller and move differently. Whatever it was, I would be particularly worried because, according to his estimations, the strange lights apparently landed about 20 miles from his house. NASA scientists are in the middle of conducting a 9-hour space experiment when this strangely haunting static fills their ears. NASA experts describe the noise only as complex signals. They think it could be anything from equipment vibrations to gravity waves, but I think it sounds like it could be some radio signal from another galaxy. Many believe that some kind of life form was trying to contact us, and I agree that's a definite possibility, especially considering the sound was only heard for a single minute and never again. Either way, the mysterious sound you've just heard was recorded in 2014 and has been baffling experts ever since. No clear explanation has ever been provided, so I'd like to get yours if possible. YouTube channel KBC Cazadores de Fantasmas investigated the site of a reported unidentified flying object landing.
Tá vindo a mata, João. What? Não, não é bicho não. Nunca vi bicho não, seu barulho não.
They come across a burning ember. Was someone recently here? Shortly after, they see something watching them.
Tá lá agora. Olha lá, vermelho. Mano, tem alguma coisa ali. Irmão, tô vendo. Não, mas pera aí, mano, ela tá focando. Pedro. João, é olho, João.
They quickly grow frightened.
Correu. Pedro, olha ali pra baixo, Pedro. Cadê a gente? Não, correu pra cá. Correu pra baixo, mano. Mano, tá mudando de forma, mano.
They find nothing there, but as they're about to call it a day, they hear something again.
Olha, meu, o que é isso?
And then they leave us to guess what's next. I think they were being stalked, but I don't think their stalker was human. We'll have to tune into the next episode to find out. Sylvian Nicholas has a motion sensor camera that turned on momentarily to catch this strange airborne entity, as indicated by the green box. Take a look again in slow motion and tell me if this was a spirit orb, a giant speck of dust, a bug, or something else altogether. Shot in Saudi Arabia, this video captured what appeared to be a flying horse during a light storm. Some believe it to be the Al-Buraq, which is a mythological creature of Islamic culture. The Buraq supposedly has wings, which the video's horse does not. But of course, that doesn't prevent the mythical leaning to propose this. The people shooting the video are freaked out over the event, though the silhouette of the horse is a bit creepy and sinister with the lightning and thunder filling the sky around him. It would certainly be a sight to see. Is this a true sighting of a mythical steed, or is the lightning playing tricks on us? What do you think? Your house. Many places claim to be the most haunted, but this one truly earns the title. YouTube team Twin Paranormal spends a night at one of the most haunted houses in America, the Basilica Axe Murder House. When they speak to the spirits, they hear some movement.
We also heard stories about the evil entity who was here. We hear that there's a portal that leads to the Sally house. If you are here, we are calling upon you. What?
Oh no. Someone just ran around upstairs.
No, I heard that, bro.
Then they receive a name.
I'm already... with a K?
Yeah. No.
One of the names...
Catherine?
Dude, I just got Catherine out of my device.
Oh my...
I legit just got Catherine out of my device. I cannot see it.
Next, they receive this terrifying warning.
I'm here to warn you. Catherine, is that you? Probably.
Huh?
Music box. Catherine.
They're hearing noises and receiving strange messages from the beyond.
Show yourself. All these noises are coming from upstairs.
Literally?
What do you guys... Stranger! That's what that man was. Or us.
While upstairs, River sees something out of the corner of his eye, and it freaks him out.
Guys? Caution, guys. What? I swear to God, I just saw something right here. No Dude, you heard that? Yes, something just moved away.
Here it is again.
Did you guys just hear that? Yeah.
Shortly after, a series of creepy sounds and messages leaves Twin Paranormal reeling.
A group of us!
Did you hear that?
What?
Nobody else heard that?
He's in the doll.
He's in the doll! What the He's in the doll! Oh,
8 spirits.
They receive confirmation that the person who took all these lives with an axe is in the doll. So I think they have only one option now: burn that doll to ash. Number 20. History comes to life at this old stone church, and so do the spirits. Route X Paranormal Investigation calls this one of the best records of paranormal activity in a century-old stone church in the north-central part of the state of Rio de Janeiro. Soon enough, they come to the old stone church, but before they even arrive at the stone church, they spot something in the darkness. Their cameras don't capture what it is they're seeing. Soon enough, they come to the old stone church. Its creepy facade is enough to send you on your way. Inside, they find overgrowth, vines dangling, some seemingly suspended mid-air. Later, they stand before a small crucifix in a stone room. They speak to the spirits through a spirit box here.
Estamos aqui, eu, Ed, tem a Márcia, o Wellington e o Master.
One says that she's listening to them and that she is suffering, but the creepiest part is yet to come. As the cameraman stands far off, he captures a shadow figure shifting past the crew in the crucifix room. Is this the spirit they were speaking to? Or do they have multiple entities surrounding them? A YouTuber named Jonathan senses something outside of his home and begins recording. He doesn't make it very far before he finds the source of his unease staring directly back at him.
Okay, guys. So.
A small set of beady eyes in the darkness sends Jonathan running back into his home. I was positive it was just a cat until I noticed there are other eyes in the video too, like when he turns around here. Maybe Jonathan does have an overactive imagination and was frightened by a neighborhood cat. Or maybe he really is being watched in his own yard by an unseen network of nightmarish creatures. A YouTuber named Shiva the Vlogger goes to an old movie theater in India that is said to be inhabited by something not of our plane of existence. The interior is completely destroyed, as if something has stomped its way through here many times before. Nothing about it feels safe or abandoned. As they make their way from room to demolished room, they move in a hurry and try to record as much as they can as quickly as possible to avoid staying there for long. To be honest, most of the amateur footage is pointed at the ground, but at 7 minutes and 29 seconds they record a strange figure leaning out of the doorway to look at them. I think they probably would have immediately noticed something this big and ran away, so I'm pretty sure it's just a hole in the wall or something, but let me know what you see and if you think it's a shadow figure like they claim it could have been. Jessie, who runs a YouTube channel called Jessie Christine Keep Calm and Clean, is freaking out over a scary CCTV video of an odd light she captured in her own living room. The camera is moving in real time, so this footage is not sped up. The light is only there for a second and then gone as quickly as it came. When you look at her living room during the daytime, you can see the area of the couch where the light hit is across from a window, so maybe it was headlights from a car or something. But since they live on a quiet country road without many neighbors, there's no real reason for anyone to be passing through, and if they were, the light from their car should last for longer than a second as they go down the long road. Have you ever gotten physically ill from watching paranormal footage? Redditor Minimum Session 4039 has, and this is the piece that made them sick.
Been doing this all morning and I don't have time for this today. Stop. Hey buddy, I got too much going on. You gotta cut it out. Oh. Okay.
After setting the camera down, the activity only gets creepier.
I asked you gotta go, or you gotta go downstairs, or something. Wherever you're gonna go, you gotta go. Calm down.
You can see a distinct shadow figure standing halfway down the stairs. This is clearly the culprit who's opening and shutting the door.
He's okay. Please, not today. Just, holy cow.
There is definitely a ghost that likes mischief. I don't think this is at the level of burn the house down yet, but I would be keeping an eye on this playful phantom. Heads up, it's watching. Posted to the Ghosts subreddit by Nimrose. Something demonic is peeking out from behind this tree. A woman is walking down a forest path at night in Sweden, but she doesn't notice that she's not alone. Look to the right of the tree. A creepy long-haired demon-like figure peeks out for a split second before hiding itself again. I'm surprised it didn't snatch her when she walked past. Some in the comments are saying it was Krampus, the terrifying horned Christmas demon from European folklore. Others think it's a person in a mask. Still, others are more distracted by the eyes that pop out at the base of the tree at nearly the same time as the demon. Well, that can be explained away as a raccoon or other animal. What about the demon person? Any theories? Two friends struggled to push a boulder off a cliff when a third stands at the bottom to make sure the action is caught on video. I think they were expecting it to drop straight down or something like that, but they are about to learn that gravity works in mysterious ways. It looks like he's about to get it big time, but at 22 seconds the rock bounces at an angle that's barely to the right of where he's standing. There isn't enough time for him to react, and the fact that he's still alive afterwards is little more than random physics and sheer luck. A YouTuber named Breaking the Shell goes exploring a 150-year-old home in search of the paranormal, and the paranormal is what they find. Shadow figures and footsteps have been reported by previous ghost hunters, but that's nothing compared to the paranormal evidence you're about to see. They're not even exploring inside of the house yet, and the investigation is already getting spooky. At 40 seconds, a mysterious, possibly paranormal white light appears in the window of the room above them. And before you say that their light is hitting a mirror or something, explain how at 45 seconds the light seemingly gets even brighter when the ghost hunter faces the opposite way. One of the things they notice is a bricked up fireplace where someone seems to have busted out, along with a door that has a padlock. There's another doorway with firewood in front of it that's been boarded up and painted over. I feel like somebody could have been kept in here against their will.
That's weird.
After exploring the house some more, they think they hear footsteps, like other ghost hunters have reported, and I think it might be happening over them in the room where the mysterious light was.
Like it walked past that window like some people.
They go outside, and at 23 minutes and 7 seconds, their camera gets blurry, like it's trying to focus on a ghost nearby. Then we see the weird, mystifying light again, in front of them this time, and there's nothing but darkness, so I don't think it's light from their camera caught on tape.
No joke, I saw a lot right there.
But here's the creepiest paranormal evidence of all. At 13 minutes, while exploring the top floor, they see this blue blanket. It looks flat at first, but the more you look at it, the more it looks like the ghostly form of a child seems to appear under the blanket.
Holy cow, this is terrifying.
Now this has to be paranormal. Can a person passing away stop the clocks? This video posted by LMonkA7X to the Ghosts subreddit calls that into question. Monk explains in the comments that his partner was working the night shift at the hospital when a patient passed at 3:11 a.m. Porters arrived to transport the body around 45 minutes later. Not long after, a nurse was logging the passing in the computer when she observed a clock's hand spinning rapidly. The passing was logged into the computer at 4:10 a.m. and a minute later the clock stopped spinning at 4:11 a.m., exactly an hour after the man's passing. While Monk admits to ordinarily being a skeptic, his partner's reaction to what happened, as well as everyone else's in the ward, convinced him that this was no practical joke, this was real. All who paid witness to the odd timing were shaken up over it. Being that the clock is analog and not digital, Monk suggests it's strange that the clock stopped on the exact right time of day after going berserk. He also believes that the whole thing was paranormal, being that the clock's actions coincided with the passing of the patient and the processes surrounding it. What do you think? Coincidence or not? The people of Reddit are on both sides of the fence. Either way, the timing couldn't have been creepier. While in this abandoned house, YouTube team Nerve Paranormal witnesses the paranormal, and the spirits here want to play ball. Watch the blue ball in the bottom left corner.
Yes, Boulder, слушай, да?
As they're listening back to a recording, Tim hears something in the darkness. I can definitely hear something moving. It sounds like it's coming from another room. When they later investigate, they hear footsteps behind them. And a light swings overhead. Later, as they're trying to connect with the spirits at the bottom of the stairs, something is thrown at them. Dennis and Tim want answers, but it seems to me like the ghosts just want to play. Would you play with them? I think I'd pass. If you knowingly lived in a haunted house, would you stay? Donnie Drunkard did. Published to YouTube in December of 2020, this paranormal activity will run you out of Donnie Drunkard's home. Donnie writes, after trying to recover footage that I thought was lost, I found these clips from last year documenting the earliest days of paranormal and poltergeist activity manifesting in my haunted house. The footage first shows Donnie playing with his dog Terry, but later that night Donnie notes that the atmosphere changed and that they heard voices and sounds coming from upstairs. Terrifying clinking and clanking bursts through the darkness. Terry is growling as Donnie grabs for his Bible and starts to pray.
Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
As Terry tries to escape under a table for comfort.
Terry, come here. Terry. Come on, Terry. You gotta go.
Donnie gathers him up to flee this mayhem for a time as they head out for a drive. In the background, an overhead light is swinging back and forth while they are away. A closet door near where the sound originated opens slowly. Nothing exits. YouTuber Brenda Luke writes, that hallway, it's not just darkness, it's advanced darkness. I'd be leaving that haunted house immediately. Could there be spirits all around us, just out of sight? Posted to the r/paranormal encounters subreddit. One Blueberry336 asks, is this an orb? In the video, her puppy is sitting in his cage on high alert. He starts whining and lays down. Then he starts howling. Mid-howl, a light orb flies by, somehow seeming to alert the dog to its presence. The dog stops his howl and looks right at it. Some in the comments think the pup really does seem to be startled by the orb and think it could possibly be paranormal, but others think it's a puppy and a flying bug. What do you think it is? Remember, animals have a better sense of the paranormal than humans. A bizarre video with little context has left people speculating what creepy things are happening here. At first, this looks like a woman going about her day, but rumor is that she is walking around taking things that could belong to the man on the bed, and that he might even be incapacitated in some way, helpless to do anything but watch Frozen. I think there might be something to this because she grabs a device at 1 minute and 23 seconds and then an identical device at 1 minute and 40 seconds while possibly looking for cameras. Was all this stuff hers or not? Since these are rumors and speculation, we'll never know for sure. If a tree falls on you in the forest and no one is around to hear you scream, do you make a sound? Posted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by Essex Haunted, the Redditor explains that in Puckley, Kent, UK, there is a forest known as Daring Woods, otherwise known as the Screaming Woods. Legend has it, those who have passed there haunt the place with their screams. Although Essex posted only a personal pic, he linked to a video of said forest, which was published to YouTube in September of 2016 by LC Play Z. In the distance, you can really hear horrifying screaming from the depths of the forest.
Oh my days.
Should we scream back at her?
The man in the video asks if they should scream back, and maybe that's just what this is. Live people having screaming matches back and forth at each other from opposite sides of the woods. Or maybe, like the Redditor suggests, There's another natural explanation, responding to whether it could be some species of wild cat. Essex writes, more likely to do with the ways the trees are very closely grown and the wind, although in a later comment he adds, I've spent 3 nights there. In the last 2 months filming, some of the noises are just, well, hard to explain. According to Essex Ghost Hunters, the village of Huckley nearby is also one of the UK's most haunted ghost towns. So, nature or ghosts, do you have a better explanation for this screaming? You shall not pass. YouTuber 32 Jeremiah Nongtrod 2K17 captured a witch guarding a remote dirt road in the darkness of night. The witch stands in the middle of the road, unmoving for more than a minute. Just when it seems like she will never leave, she finally hobbles off and vanishes into the darkness. The guys drive forward to look for her, but she's nowhere to be found. Where did she go? And what was she doing there in the first place? Although this video has no answers, it's obvious to me that whatever that was in the road, witch, ghost, or demon, it was not to be crossed. These guys were smart to keep their distance.
And it was just such a chilling investigation. I am so excited to share it with you.
Haley Reese is walking through the woods when she and her friends stumble upon an old historic building known as the Griffin House. The woods around this area are supposedly quite haunted, and so they decide to conduct an impromptu paranormal investigation. It isn't long before something spooky happens.
I'm walking around to see if there's anything that you guys can.
Hey! Somebody just moved the windows! Somebody just opened the blinds! I'm not only kidding you! Somebody was there with the blinds. Blinds are moving.
Haley's friends claim to see curtains moving with no one inside, and when Haley approaches the Griffin house at 10 minutes and 16 seconds, you can see the curtains just barely part in the middle. Determined to get better evidence of the paranormal, Haley focuses her camera squarely on the window. She's expecting to catch a ghost on video at any minute, but nothing happens for a while. Then all of a sudden...
Move the blind more. Whoa.
As Haley later explains, the building has been closed to the public for months, so no one was inside. However, it could have been a draft in the house causing the curtains to move. There does appear to be a strong breeze blowing through the trees when they see it happen. Is this the floating soul of a departed one? Published by Frankly2112 in October of 2008, a ghost hunting crew encountered a strange floating orb while wandering through a cemetery at night. The light glows brightly at the center of what appears to be a semi-transparent figure. Then again, the apparent figure could just be the extension of the light's rays. As the cameraman pans away and back again, the beam moves quickly out of frame and out of sight. YouTuber Price Paranormal writes, it almost seems elemental or interdimensional. Others note that the light seems to materialize there, and that it appears like someone holding fire in their hand. What do you think this is? Are the spirits alive in this graveyard? I'd be staying far away from this place. An unnamed European castle is the subject of investigation on a ghost hunting YouTube channel called Paranormal Mystery. They are hastily setting up a CCTV system for the evening's investigation when they realize the battery is being drained from all of them really fast. But right before the cameras power down, they manage to capture this ghost on CCTV. A ghost walks by and dissipates before it reaches the last step. I don't know if this is computer editing, but the way it slowly shrinks and then goes away is more complex than a simple fade out shot. This video was taken in 2008, so the video quality is actually quite good and still holds up to this day. Their surprised reactions make me think this could be real. A girl and the person filming were innocently playing around outside, but they were not alone. Published to YouTube in May of 2019, nightmares abound after watching this video, which is gaining attention in the Spanish-speaking YouTube community. The clip shows a girl playing with a ball outside a yellow fenced-in building. She runs up to the fence, behind which a pair of swings are wrapped together in knots. After a moment, the girl points at something or someone behind the camera person, who turns around to see what she's indicating. There is no one in the distance across the field, but there is someone right behind her. The ghoul of a girl appears semi-transparent as the camera shot falls. We can only imagine the camera person fled in fear from this thing she was not meant to see. Tag, you're it. Game over. This ghostly figure is the Thief of Souls, published by Land on TV in November of 2021. This man encountered an obscure figure lurking on an empty road at night. After wandering through a quiet village in the late hours, the man spies the silent figure in the darkness.
Arabian, Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar!
He walks in another direction but soon sees the figure again. As he yells at the shadowy figure, it moves away into the darkness. Later, it seems he spies the figure up in the trees, either having climbed it or perhaps even hovering in the air. What does this thing want? I'm guessing his soul. Attached. When dealing with ghosts, paranormal investigators should take care not to bring something home with them. YouTuber Chris L. Luna has, and now she isn't sure how to get rid of it.
Ahorita que estaba aquí sentada, trabajando, vuelvo a escuchar ruidos muy extraños detrás de mí cuando no hay absolutamente nadie.
She explains that she's been ignoring the noises she hears in her home, but at the moment, she's heard many behind her, and there's no one home but her. After showing viewers her empty house, she hears this. The growl sounds like it's very near. Like right next to her. I think this would be the end of the paranormal investigation for me. Once you bring an attachment like this home, the love for your job has gotta fade. Number 11. Imagine playing hide and seek with a mysterious cult. Published by Lego Papa TV in March of 2020. This scary video shows a cultish encounter at a house where lives were taken. Lego arrives at the house that he plans to explore on this fateful night. It looks 100% haunted. He tours the house, arriving at a bathroom in which he says the 71-year-old woman who lived here would take the lives of her victims. He says she buried them in her backyard. As he's about to head upstairs, he hears something, but he assumes it was just animals.
Probably animals because I saw a poop here.
Once he gets up there, though, he hears more noise.
Hello?
While using the spirit box on his phone to try and communicate with the passed away in the bathroom, he sees a flashlight beam hit the wall. When he turns around, he sees many beams of light, and he thinks it could be police, other urban explorers, or maybe something even more nefarious. So he rushes upstairs and hides in another bathroom. Shortly after, he sees flashlight beams on the wall and hears footsteps. They apparently don't see him. After waiting in the darkness for a time, he sneaks downstairs, and while in the basement, he hears more evidence that he's not alone in the house. Footsteps sound on the floor above. He gets out of there as quickly as possible and does manage to escape. When finally safely outside, he turns back to look at the house. They are looking for him, whoever they are. Lego writes, "This is probably the scariest moment of my life. I have no doubt about that." Paranormal explorer Thiago Ferracao returns to the Benzedeiras house in this scary video, published in May of 2022. Legend has it that Maria began by doing good, blessing people, but ended by taking her own life after she started doing dark magic rituals. Ever since, her house has been haunted, and Thiago is on a mission to spend the night there. As he enters, someone is standing in an adjacent room. Before he can step inside, the door slams in his face. Is it Maria?
Meu Deus! Ai, foi isso?
When Thiago pushes his way into the room, no one is there. Checking out the corner in which she was standing, they hear an animal in the room.
Cara, tem bicho ali, ó. Olha, uma aranha. Você tá vendo?
Then it seems like the animal goes after Thiago. Later, as they attempt to communicate with Maria via a spirit box, they hear this.
Que foi isso? Vai.
They continue throughout the house, trying to convince Maria that they are not there to hurt her, but she does not seem convinced.
Vem pra minha esposa.
Thiago.
When the door finally stops banging, they open it. They leave the house wishing Maria peace, but does she wish peace upon them? A YouTube channel called Mysterious Oklahoma received this video from a subscriber who claims to have kept seeing something out of the corner of their eye in one spot of their house, so they set up a camera to record. What they capture is a fast-moving creature they refer to only as the Thing, which apparently moves so fast the camera has trouble keeping up. When you pause on it, you can see a very small figure that looks to be slightly lower resolution than the rest of the video, so it might not be real. Mutations are not an uncommon occurrence amongst calves, but they are rare enough where witnessing one might surprise you. This calf was born in Villa Ana, Argentina in September of 2019, and it did indeed surprise its owners, as it appeared to have a human face. The calf was born with a malformed skull, a small nose and mouth, and had difficulty holding its head up. It passed away within hours of this video, but farmers shared the footage online, sending the video viral. Speaking to local media, genetics expert Nicholas Menego said the calf might have possessed a rare genetic mutation. Similar incidents have been captured on video across the world, with a two-headed calf with features to boot, 2 mouths and 4 eyes, in India earlier in 2019. Although not too unusual from a biological standpoint, I think we can all agree that looking into the sad-looking eyes of this calf, after knowing what happened to it, takes courage. Heather of Heather Hauntings is investigating a place known as the Shadow People Trail, a name that needs no further explanation. They go to the very end of the trail where the most paranormal activity is said to occur.
Ghost radar first, because that one's been working pretty good.
That one's been working really good.
Okay. Whoa, what the f*** that?
It's loud.
What the Oh my god, this place is so creepy.
And it isn't long before they catch some creepy stuff on camera that leaves them scared.
So, what the f*** was that?
I don't know.
Terror.
Terror?
Yeah, I'm creeped.
The scary noises coming from the woods stop for a while, and Heather's group wonders if the shadow people have left. Watch the ghost radar screen when they ask the shadow people where they went.
Where'd you go?
Yeah, you were all over and now you're just gone.
They leave a camera facing the direction of the noise and walk away. The camera starts to move on its own even though it is on a well-balanced tripod. Some shadows move in front of the camera at 14 minutes and 45 seconds, and then the camera falls over. They've caught enough paranormal evidence on camera to convince me that this forest is as haunted and scary as the legends say. This Saudi Arabian YouTuber decided to do some urban exploring in 2018. The property looks long abandoned, and they are forced to explore only by flashlight. Despite the creepy feel of the place from the very start, the men brave it out and continue exploring. It starts to appear as though the men are being watched, and on multiple occasions they check their surroundings to make sure they are all alone. It turns out their instincts are correct, as they capture what they claim is a witch. It definitely appears to be someone dressed in all black robes, with their face fully covered. I believe someone might have actually been living on the property, and they wanted to scare them away. Or do you think the YouTuber was correct, and this was an actual witch? Published by Dark Ghost Paranormal in August of 2021, Dennis set up cameras in a bunker hidden beneath a school, and this abandoned bunker in Germany has some mysteries up its sleeve. One camera captures a door slowly opening. In another room in the school above, Dennis asks for a sign that someone's here, and this is the response.
Знак, если надо где-то еще искать.
In the bunker, a blast makes Dennis jump. It sounds like it's coming from this box. Later, the light from his camera shuts off, and he's left in the darkness. Through the spirit box, the spirits tell him it's a trap. Strange carnival-like music seems to be coming from the spirit box. As Dennis's lights continue to malfunction, he has no escape. The door to the room is locked, and he can't get it open. He is in the darkness again with only a lighter to keep him company, while something unknown growls from the shadows. Later, he is told through the spirit box not to come. He finds the previously locked door mysteriously open to him. After racing out of there with his equipment, we can only imagine that he heeded the spirit's advice and never returned, which is a smart call. A highway patrol building in Truckee, California was unprepared for one of the scariest moments ever caught on CCTV, a surprise bear inspection. The animal gets up to look inside and pushes down on the extra large doorknob. It looks like an act of sheer luck, but then it knows to pull the door towards itself to get inside, which is just creepy beyond belief. You can see from its reflection of the window that this bear gets pretty far into the station. Approximately 29 seconds pass before it's spotted and chased. The curious critter nudges open the door to get away from two officers, and there really isn't much they can do except clear the parking lot and probably call wildlife authorities. The way this bear can open doors so easily seems well practiced, and makes me wonder how many different human houses it's visited. Hopefully they catch it soon and relocate it someplace far away. This home surveillance video shows a round transparent object dart across someone's front yard. It starts from a walkway and then goes down a hill towards the house, perhaps looking for a way inside. Meanwhile, whatever this is supposed to be glares at the camera without moving, and when I zoom in, I think those might be horns. After a series of unexpected passings in his family, YouTuber Slightly Scared 2012 experienced this. Do you see a face in the fabric? The YouTuber believes it's his departed cousin's face. The cousin in question passed away, falling from a highway overpass, and within hours, this face appeared on the seat of the chair while the YouTuber was sitting in it. I wish we had a picture of his cousin to compare, but nevertheless, I definitely see a face here, but whether it's pareidolia or not is the big question. What is hiding in this deep dark cave in Romania? This crew of adventure seekers is about to find out. Watch closely in the darkness.
Hai mă, că mă, de acolo în bac până. Da, și mă, cum să te urci, mă? Ia mă, ține camera, că mă... N-ai cum să te urci, tăvane. Astea sunt momente de nu se poate așa ceva. Cum să nu mă urmă pe casă pe ăla?
What is that lump? It looks like an animal sleeping.
Da, și mă, te gândești, n-ai nimic, ca echipa n-ai la tine. De ce să te ții, nu? Pe margine, mă, ce idei trebuie să... Ia, mă, ce... Uite-te sus, uitați-o sus, mă.
The guys appear scared of the mysterious creature, and they start to make their way out of the cave. Their camera goes berserk.
Ai și ce mare, frate. Hai de pula mea.
Did they just escape from the cave creature of Romania Borsec? Personally, I think this was just a trick of the light, but I still get the chills from this clip. I'm staying far away from caves either way. John T. Taylor TV documents an old abandoned house from the late 90s that is in a total state of disrepair. There's no saving this house, but there also may be spirits inside who have no interest in being saved as well. As he takes a final look from outside, John T. Taylor records what could be two pairs of eyes staring at him from behind a desk and collapsed section of wall. Are these really eyes looking from deeper within, or could they be a series of tiny holes in the far wall with pinpricks of light shining through? I think I might see the bottom set of eyes blink at the 4-minute and 46-second mark, so I think I might have the answer. He turns around, goes back to civilization from where he came from, none the wiser about this potentially up-and-close and personal chance encounter with the other side. Stadium. This stadium is haunted by a black shadow. YouTuber Outdoor Xiao Long is searching for it when this happens.
Ah!
Later, he sees the red ball he saw last time he was here. He starts running toward it when it upends him. Evil seems to be following him everywhere here. Keep a close eye on the mirror. A shadow figure is standing beside him. Did you see it? Is it a trick of the light? Our eyes? That's what I would have thought, but it disappears when he turns back. But it's not just that shadow that's freaking viewers out. Watch this next scene. What was that? A face peeks out at him from the doorway. It looks like a woman with long hair. Looks to me like the shadow figure isn't the only thing Xiao Long has to worry about in here. This place is a demon's paradise, and it seems like they're out to get him. Number 12. Steer clear of this swampland. It is home to prehistoric reptiles. Published by MD Starbeast in May of 2022, the YouTuber is wondering what this creature is. Surrounded by lily pads, a snake-like head protrudes from the swampland. It's very still but seems to be rising up out of the water. Is it an eel of some kind? Some obscure reptile? A water dragon? What is your theory? Well, this ghost hunter explored a cathedral. He was met with something unexpected: the devil. Ghost hunter Red Fox set up a Ouija board inside this haunted cathedral and soon felt like he was being watched.
무언가가 여기 있을까요?
And not only watched, but something is clearly present. Watch the playback, nothing is in the hallway from where the sound was coming from. And then that nothing is coming straight at him. The playback again shows nothing there. Until the big reveal. The playback reveals all areas of the cathedral on camera while this occurred. Later, the ghost hunter discovers his Ouija board has been misplaced. Looks like the devil has left the chat.
지금 거의 해가 뜨고 있습니다.
Mysterious CCTV video taken from a warehouse belonging to a company called Party Packs shows a stalker having all of his hard work undone in a matter of seconds when some items randomly fly off the shelf, which then begins to shake on its own. Nearby boxes almost fly into his face when he bends down to retrieve the fallen items. It could just be a string, but I definitely see some kind of tall figure standing just beyond the boxes just after it happens. Something is definitely moving its head here at the 36-second mark. After the stalker runs away, we get to see down the other side of the aisle from a different camera. That's when a transparent person briefly appears wearing a long robe that touches the floor, perhaps the same figure that appeared behind the boxes before. The camera malfunctions, and when it comes back, we see them again in the static, much closer this time, studying the camera curiously before it breaks entirely. The company would stop uploading for 7 years shortly after this video was made, so perhaps they really were scared out of business and recently reacquired. Thank you so much for getting me to 50,000 subscribers here on my Clips channel. If you want to support, please press that subscribe button. Let's get to 60,000 subscribers next. Thank you.